My name is Elia Brueggemann. I am the Deputy Education Officer for Minneapolis Public Schools.
Hi, my name is Leticia Guadarrama. I'm from College and Career Readiness Coordinator.
magacaygu waa Saciid Garaad waxaan u shaqeeyaa Minneapolis Public Schools xafiiska dugsiyada dadweynaha laga maamulo school districtga.
Hello, my name is Tex Osvig with the University of Minnesota Multicultural Center for Academic Excellence.
Asalaamu calaykum, magacayga waa Salma Xusaan. Waxaa u shaqeeyaa xafiiska dhaqamada kala duwan at the University of Minnesota.
My name is Muhyiddin Warfa. I'm a director with the Multilingual Department.
And we are here today having a camp for 8th grade girls, which is a transition into going to high school. And the reason for the camp is to give them some leadership skills and also to talk about college and career readiness.
And it feels horrible when you are being bullied. And unfortunately, we tend to forget how does it feel to be bullied. And we are nasty. Now I try to think when I start to be nasty to others, when I start to be mean, and then I'm start to think, how would I feel if somebody was doing that to me? So I try not to, but it's hard. It is not that easy not to be the mean girl. I think it's kind of hard, and I don't know why. And females, we tend to be mean to each other, and I don't know, instead of encouraging each other, instead of saying, I'm so glad that you're doing this, we tend to compete. And remember what I say about like my assumption is that Somali girls they stick together, and sticking together you avoid bullies, actually. Don't separate, because that's what makes you strong, when you stick together. Like right now, if you stick together as Latinas or stick together as somebody who wants to do better, you become strong. And that's what you were saying about the confidence. And that's what the confidence comes back to you. It's about, I want to do the right thing. I want to be kind to people. I mean, I don't think you wake up in the morning and you say, I hope I can be very, very mean and I hope hurt people. You normally wake up and you think, I'm going to have a great day. And something happened the day that you start to lose your focus about doing the right thing. So don't lose the focus.
So be confident in yourself, be confident in your skills, and that way you're going to attract the right type of people. People will come to you because everybody wants someone that's confident, and I see a lot of confidence in this room, so continue to be that way.
Our goal today is to have 30 girls, and it's a pilot program that is being led by Said Garat and Leticia Guadarrama. This is very important because as our English learners are coming into our program at Minneapolis Public Schools and going into high school, we want them to know that now credit counts. And therefore, this camp will help the girls in a transition again to high school. One of the areas that we are going to be focusing on is also on credit for high school, and that is going to be in the writing area for English credit. We are going to follow the girls throughout the year. After being one weekend here together and gaining some leadership skills, we're going to explain to them how we're going to meet with them once a month and actually do some reflection so that we can concentrate on the standard for writing which they need for English. And again, as I say before, a credit for high school.
I want to say something also about the counselors. There are 200 students per counselor. Yeah. Plus, most of the counselors are not immigrants. We have few. And we're very lucky to have Senor Said. Is going to be a counselor next year with a master's degree. But then we need more immigrants, and those are the ones who they don't understand that their parents don't speak the language. Their parents cannot fill those forms that are very complicated to fill out.
How do we really have these counselors because a lot of these counselors really can help us with all of these things, right? Where you feel like somebody is threatening you, somebody has been abusive, violent, that you really want access to an experience after school, that you need help, figuring out how to fill out these forms, these tax forms, or all of these things that we need to do in order to really, take care of these responsibilities we have. I wish I could stay here for the whole day talking to you about all of this and listening to you. But I want you to know that I am very appreciative of this moment that I had with you, and that what you told me matters. I happen to meet with your superintendent very often, and I meet with the school board members very often, so I am taking that message on your behalf. I will be meeting with them, and I will be letting them know what are some of the issues that you talked to me about today. Don't let anything or anybody exclude you or tell you that you can't, because that is not true. We tell ourselves that we cannot achieve, and then we stop ourselves. So go there. I hope you come to this beautiful university, or any university, and continue your studies. Please graduate. You're amazing. How fast you're learning the language. You are going to be a star. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for inviting me.
I learned a lot of things really just from on my own. I did not know the process of going to college and getting financial aid and scholarships and things like that. My parents had attended college for a little while, but they did not graduate, so they didn't know what it was like. And even if your parents did attend college, it will be almost 20 years from the time that they've been to college from the time that you get to college. A lot changes quickly, a lot changes, and it's really important to be aware of those changes. It's important to ask as many questions as possible. It's important to, get to know campus. We want you all to be welcome, feel welcome here on campus. We want you all to know where the resources are. We want you to know where the library is. We want you to know where some of the workout and academic facilities are. And we want you to know that this is just the beginning of your journey. It starts now, but it's going to continue throughout the year. It's going to continue when you have conversations with your counselors. It's going to continue when you take advantage of mentors, older students who have gone through the process, older students who can tell you what it's like to be students here at the University of Minnesota, and can tell you what it's like to be students who have transitioned from Minneapolis public schools. The most important thing is that as you get started with the 8th grade and the 9th grade, it is really, really important that you understand that all 4 years of high school count towards your graduation and towards your admission to the University of Minnesota. Sometimes people think, well, I can get a pass if I don't do as well my first year, or if I don't focus as much in my first year. That is fallacy. That is really a false way of thinking, and it really can hinder your opportunities to take advantage of scholarships. It can hinder your opportunities to take advantage of getting enrolled and accepted here at the University of Minnesota. We want you all to go to college regardless of where you decide to go, but we hope that you come to the University of Minnesota. We want you to be comfortable here. We want you to be familiar with this space, and we want you to take advantage of being here. The program that you're in this summer, we have a similar program for young men from St. Paul Public Schools. We have them here in this same space, and they actually meet here 3 days a week, and they have mock classes, and they get a chance to really just learn about the process of being a college student, to learn about the work that it takes to be a college student. You all need to support each other. You need to work with each other. One of the challenges I think that exists is that too often we think we have to do this alone. But the reality is that you need to work with folks who are in the same classes with you. You need to work with folks who are studying with you. You need to study together, and you need to figure out how to master your academic concepts. You need to figure these out together. Obviously, the work that you do in the classroom and on exams, that is your work, but you can still learn the process from each other. And if you understand something better than someone else next to you, work together, and then you can figure out how to all grow together and figure out how to be successful together. And I really would encourage you to do that. Oftentimes when I come and welcome students, I just talk and I get up and go. but I know you're probably hungry. You got a few minutes, but does anyone have any questions for me just about my process? I mean, for me, my journey from a first-generation college student to a PhD was not a steady linear journey. I was fortunate. I learned some things the hard way. I learned some things the easy way. But the most important thing I did was I learned from all the folks who were around me. I learned from people who were taking advantage of opportunities. You know, I played sports in college. I joined student organizations. I led student organizations. I studied abroad. I spent time in other countries. There were so many different things that I was able to take advantage of throughout my college experience. And I'm just grateful that I had those opportunities. But do you all have any questions for me about the journey, about the process, and maybe about some of the things to expect and some of the things to look forward to?
Would you suggest that it's better to just have a few and enjoy high school, because at the end it gets difficult and difficult and difficult?
That's an interesting question. And I really do think it depends on the individual student. You all know what your capacity is and your ability. If you can do well in all those classes, I encourage you to do it, because one of the things that happens is that you actually can get college credit for some of those, passing those AP exams. If you take advantage of the post-secondary education opportunities, you can actually, as a junior and senior in high school, you can actually take classes here at the University of Minnesota or at MCTC or at another institution, and you can get college credit while you're in high school. So it depends on the student. If you are struggling and you're not doing well in those classes, don't take them, because it does not help. It actually hurts you more than it helps. So I would suggest that you have a good balance of challenging classes and a balance of classes that you're just generally interested in. But it's also important to pay attention to the required classes. There are certain required classes for admissions to the University of Minnesota. And I think you will learn about those classes this summer. So it's important that you make sure your counselor gets you enrolled in those classes so that you can have the proper sequence for your math, your sciences, your language arts courses, and things like that, that help you become as successful as possible. I used to be deathly afraid to speak in front of people. It was so hard for me to get up and speak. My hands would sweat, my words would escape my mouth. I mean, I just was not able to do it. One of my goals, I was looking back on my 7th grade portfolio for my English class. One of the goals that I indicated was that I wanted to become a better public speaker. And that was in 7th grade. And I actually didn't master the art of public speaking until I was a college freshman. I took a public speaking class. Dr. Kathleen Wagner at Wittenberg University really helped me with different skills and ways to work through. And it was also a process. The more I knew, the better I was able to talk about different topics, the better I was able to be engaged. And when you know what you're talking about, when you prepare, you feel much more confident in talking through whatever subject it is. And if you have to talk about a subject, you have to talk about something, it's important to learn about that subject so that you feel comfortable. And the other thing that helped me in my public speaking, I began to understand that people have no idea what you are planning to say. So if you mess up or you skip something, they have no idea. You may have had an order written down and an order in your mind, and then you mess up that order. People have no idea unless you stop and say, oops, I messed up. You know, you don't have to tell people that. Just be patient and get through your subject, and then at the end you can wrap it all up and it becomes easier.
maanta barnaamijka aan joogno waa barnaamij waxtar u leh caruurteena. barnaamijkan si khaas ah maanta waxaa loogu talagalay gabdhaha fasalka 8aad dhameeyay oo dugsi sare aadaya sanadkan soo socda. barnaamijkan waa barnaamij waxbarasho iyo dhiirigelin isugu jira. gabdhuhuna waxay ka baranayaan waxyaalo badan oo ku saabsan jaamacadda iyo high schoolka isay isugu xidhan yihiin. waa barnaamij caruurteena waxtar weyn u ah. waa barnaamij lagu dhiirigelinayo inay gabdhuhu ay noqdaan hogaamiyayaal. waa barnaamij ay kasoo qayb galeen ay iska kaashadeen dugsiyada dadweynaha Minneapolis Public Schools iyo jaamacaddan ay maanta joogno University of Minnesota. Marka barnaamijkaas waxaa soo qaban qaabiyey Minneapolis Public Schools, laakiin waxay iska kaashadeen jaamacadda ay maanta joogno ee UFM-ta. barnaamijkaas wuxuu soconayaa asbuuc haddii ilaahay qadaro sanadka dambe xilligan samarka oo kaleeto ina waanu waan sameynaynaa. wiilashuna waa ka horeeyeen marka laakiin laba qaybood baa laga dhigay, qayb wiilasha iyo qayb gabdhaha ah. marka barnaamijkaas wixii waalida danaynaya sanadka soo socda way nala soo xiriiri karaan haddii ilaahay qadaro. marka waadna mahadsantihiin. waxaanu halkan u joognaa qoysaskeena iyo caruurteena dugsiyada dadweynaha dhigta Minneapolis Public School saan u taageeri lahayn. waadna mahadsantihiin.
Today we are excited to have leaders from the Global Educational Department, Elia Brugman, Letitia Guadarrama, Said Grad, and the other leaders from Minneapolis who have really been very helpful in starting a program to bring together 8th graders to learn leadership and leadership skill building activities at the University of Minnesota.
I'm asking that you listen to me, to open your eyes, so that I know you're paying attention. If you decide to talk to somebody else, that's fine with me. I'll let you talk because your voice is important. So if you have something to say to someone that's more important than what I'm saying, I will let you do that. So I'm not here to yell at you. I'm not here to, say, listen to me this way, because I respect your voices that way. Okay? Sound good? Okay. So really quickly, this building is called Kaufman Union. It's our student union. Do you have any idea what this building might be used for? Why do you think we have this building? Yes.
Graduation.
No, not graduation. That's another building we're going to go see later on. Why do you think we have this building here? Food, right? So if we didn't have this building for food, where would students go to eat? They'd have to walk off campus and everything's right here. So it's a place to eat. What else do you think this building could be used for? A place for what? Shopping. So did you guys see over there? There was the bookstore. Okay, so there's a bookstore over there that has all the things you need. So if you're a college student and you're going to buy things, what are some things you think you can buy in that store? Clothes. What else? Yeah, all your classes stuff. Can you come a little closer? So this is called Golden's Game Room, and so again, what are some things you see here? Bowling. What else? Keys. What else? What are the green things you got? It's more expensive. Really? Yep.
Yeah.
Public has bigger classes. The good thing is, if you came back with your parents, could you come here and play games and stuff? No. Yes, you can. You can come back here with your friends and your family if you want. But you have to have an adult with you so you can do things. But this is a public university. This is your university to come visit. So the building we just came, if you want to come here someday and have lunch, you can have lunch. So all these places on campus are places that you can come back to when you have your family with you. All right? Okay.
It looks like abstract.
So a mural is a painting that is put on a wall space. And what it is that this is a special mural because the gentleman who did it, his name is William Warlands, and he's American Indian, and he was asked to put this together. Now, let me ask you, when you look at this, okay, I'll let you see it, what is the message that he's trying to give us by looking at this mural? Yes?
All cultures are united.
All cultures united, and what are they united with? Yes? Roots, branch. Can you see anything else inside this tree? Yes, right here.
No, I couldn't see that. Oh, I see.
So his message is that all cultures are united in what? In love, right? English is my first language, but it's one of those things. The more that we learn to appreciate each other, the better a better world we can make it. Okay? So and here's Mexico. Okay, and then where would Somali be, or Somalia? Where's that? Kind of right here?
No.
So on this floor, we have a lot of cultural centers. Do you know what a cultural center is? Students?
Eating?
No, they're not eating.
Class last.
So we have we have our regular school year that starts from September and ends when? If we start September, when do we usually?
May.
About May. And then from May until the middle of July, we have summer session 1. And the beginning of August till September, we have summer session 2. This week, where do you think we're at? We're right in the middle. So we're right in the middle, so there's not a lot of students on campus. So next week, there'll be a lot more students. But this is the 1 week. When school's going on, you come together because of food, you come together because of language, you come together because of customs, you come together because of values and principles. And when you feel like you can come together with somebody who understands you, someone who can relate to you, someone who can connect with you, that makes you feel very safe. How many of you want to feel safe? We all do, right? So sometimes just by hearing language from the university, but when I came here, La Raza was a very, very small group. But it's gotten bigger since I've been here, and I've been here for 20 years. But the thing about it is that, you get to learn about them. And then when you leave the university, you go into the world. And if you've learned more about each other and realize we should stop talking about our differences, but talking about our similarities, then that makes our country, our society, our nation, our world a lot better place. So that's why it's important for you to realize that universities need you. They need you everywhere, not because you're smart all the time, not because of all your talents, but because you create the future world. We know that in the United States, what's the fastest growing population in the United States? Latino. American Culture Center, but then they changed their name to Black Student Union because they really wanted to embrace kind of their cultural identity that they have from the 60s and onward. This is the Disabled Cultural Center, so people that are deaf, people that can't see, people that are in wheelchairs, they have a cultural center as well. Here's La Raza. This is one of the pictures that you would have seen inside. So this is an example where this picture actually just depicts the history of Mexicanos and the Mexica, and things like that. And then we have the other ones as well. So there's just lots of cultural centers to embrace who we are.